Hey Lingoni lovies, welcome back to Lingoni English. My name's Brian, and in this video, we're going to talk about a sort of controversial topic in the US, health insurance. Now, we've partnered with studyinginus.org in order to make a series of videos relating to studying in, living in, and traveling in the US. Now, you can go to their website to check out some more articles that would be helpful for you if you're doing those things. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about three things: public versus private health insurance, whether or not you need health insurance, and different expressions that you'll need to know when talking about health insurance in general, like what an HMO is, PPO, or a deductible. So let's get started. So public versus private. The idea of public versus private in different countries varies. In the US, most people have private health insurance, and the healthcare system is known overall as a private healthcare system. And the people who do have public health insurance are mostly citizens or maybe people with green cards, and these are also usually people who are older or retired or who have lower income. If you're going to the US to study or to work, then you'll almost certainly have private health insurance. So do you actually need health insurance in the US? Well, the short answer is yes. Not all visa types require you to have health insurance when you live in the US, but the state that you're living in might require it, or if you're studying, the school or university where you're studying will very often require you to have health insurance too. Not only that, but universities and schools often have their own health insurance to offer to students, either domestic or international. When I was going to school, for example, I had to opt out of, so say that I didn't want the health insurance that they offered because I had my own. And while some people might think that US health insurance is expensive, and it definitely can be, the cost of paying for healthcare yourself is often much more expensive. So that's why most people living in the US do have health insurance. Most international students choose to get it. Now, if you're going to the US for work, your work is required to give you a health insurance option if it's a medium to large size business. There are some exceptions for small businesses though, so if you're going to work for a small company in the US, you should ask them first whether or not they offer the benefit of health insurance. Okay, let's go ahead and look at some useful vocabulary when signing up for health insurance. All right, so we're going to start off with your PCP. Your PCP is your primary care physician. Now, this is the doctor that you see the most. There are some other expressions for this in English. Some people might say a family doctor or a GP, which is a general practitioner. So somebody who studies general medicine as opposed to a specialist. Now, when you're signing up for health insurance in the US, there will likely be a place where you're asked to write who your PCP is. But if you don't have one yet, what do? Well, the health insurance website will often have a little search engine to help you find doctors that are in your area. You can use that search engine, or you can use other online resources or talk to colleagues or friends. And if you find a PCP or GP who interests you, I recommend calling or emailing them and asking if they're taking new patients. If they are, great. Let them know that you want to sign up with them and that they are now your PCP. All right, let's talk about an HMO versus PPO. So an HMO is a health maintenance organization. You do not need to know that, just HMO, that's enough. Now with an HMO, a health insurance company has contracts or agreements with certain doctors in your area. Now, if you have an HMO and you want to go to a doctor, there are a couple things you need to do first. Most importantly is to call the doctor's office and see if they take your health insurance. Now, if you want to see a specialist, you might need what's called a referral first. What this means is that you go to your primary care physician, you have just a sort of beginning appointment with them. And if they think that you do indeed need to go to a specialist, they will write you a referral to go see a specialist. And before you see the specialist, it's important that you call them and ask if they take your health insurance. In my experience, I've pretty much always gotten referrals to specialists who also take my health insurance. All right, now a PPO is a preferred provider organization. Again, just PPO is enough. And what this means is that you can typically just go to any doctor that your insurance covers. It's good to call the doctor's office first and ask them, hey, do you take my health insurance? And to be as specific as possible, because one health insurance company might have a lot of different kinds of health insurance options. Now, again, with a PPO, you don't typically need a medical referral. You can often just go to that doctor's office. Now, let's talk about expressions relating to what you need to pay for the health insurance. We'll start with a premium. A premium is what you pay for your health insurance each month. This is often somewhere between $200 and $400 a month. Normally, when you're working full-time, your employer will pay part of the premium. So you might pay $220 and your employer might pay $230. Next is your deductible. Your deductible is the amount that you need to pay in 1 year before a health insurance company will start paying additional medical bills. So say, for example, you go to the doctor and you get a medical bill for $900. And if your deductible is $400, then you will need to pay that $400 before the health insurance company pays the additional $500. So once you've reached that amount, so in this case you paid that $400, then you don't need to pay that again for the rest of the year. Now, where you're living might have more specific laws relating to deductibles, so you might want to check in with the insurance company to get more details on that. Now, lastly, we're going to talk about a copay. So a copay is a fixed amount of money that you always pay for a certain service. So for example, if you go to a doctor's office, you might always pay, $20 to see the doctor. Every time, no matter what, you always pay $20. If you go to the emergency room, for example, this will often be more expensive. So it might be like $50 or somewhere around double the price of what it costs to go to just a regular doctor's office. Now there you have it, some basic information about signing up for health insurance in the US. We hope you found this video helpful, and thanks again to studyinginus.org for their help in collaborating on this video. Now, don't forget to go ahead and check out the Lingoni English app. We also have Lingoni French and German. Go to lingoni.com to find our apps. There, you'll find our podcasts, worksheets, exercises, and more for you to improve in your English, French, or German. See you there.